Let's get it. I'm ready.
Yes, we are there. We are live. Live, live, live. What's up, Alex?
What's good, bro?
What's up,
Can you
bro?
see me? Am I
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I see you. Absolutely. Absolutely.
nice cup of coffee for the night?
Yo. All right. So yeah, bro, I wanted to jump in
Jump in
here
here.
to be able to go over this topic real quick
Yeah, man.
and see and also experiment with the live too as well because I never done the live on the vertical live stream too as well, right?
Right.
So obviously, pretty much with my page, we talk a lot about personal development. We talk about a lot of stuff to empower and help men, right? So pretty much what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about this topic with you, and that's pretty much like why most men need help, right? I did a video the other day. Can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
Okay. I did a video the other day talking about most men live in quiet desperation, right?
Right.
And why most men are pretty much out here by themselves in this world, right? And nobody's really there to help them. So since you're an entrepreneur, you've done a lot of successful things as an entrepreneur, you made a lot of money and stuff like that too as well. I just wanted to talk to you about this, right?
Hmm.
And then I also wanted to talk to you about like the positive versus the negatives, because we always go back and forth about why people like they respond to negative things more than they respond to something positive too as well.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's just first start off with why we feel like most men, or why you feel like most men need help, or why most men are soft, or whatever you want to call it. Let's start off with that. So why do you feel like most men need help?
Most men need help first and foremost because men were naturally the leaders, and men, your level of leadership is going to determine your life. Meaning that your level of being able to lead your woman, your level of being able to lead, you know, people at your job, your kids, being able to lead your life is your determining factor of how you're going to live your life. So why do most men need help? Most men need help is because if we had more leaders out here, if we had more guys going out here doing what they're supposed to do, which is getting in better shape, going out here, starting their business on the side, making more money, being more vocal, being an example to other men, then a domino effect would happen. There would be more men accomplishing more. We would
Mhm.
have more people having success. We would have better families. Guys would have better relationships with women. Everything would get better. So, if we just talk about one thing that's very popular now is dating, right? If most
Mhm.
men will work on themselves, meaning that they got us in the best shape as possible, they made more money, they had way more self-respect in themselves, then the woman issues that most men were having would disappear because they wouldn't have them. Because men who rarely have issues with women are mainly top tier men. It's only the men at the bottom who's having issues with women because they haven't put
Hmm.
themselves in a position to where they have a lot more options. They don't have much self-respect for themselves. It's all an eternal thing. Men have to get better because we're the leaders.
Okay. So you're saying self-respect or respect for themselves, and you talked about working out in the gym and all that. I know there's
Right.
a lot of people that do start working out, right? But they end up working out and then they stop. They might, they talk about the New Year's resolution where people start working out for a week, 2 weeks after the New Year's, and then they stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been working out for a while now, and I know you talk about macros, and I know you talk about watching your weight and working out consistently. What would
Mm-hmm.
you give like some tips for people, or some tips for men that actually want to work out, but they just can't be consistent with working out? Because it's working out in your health plays a big part in everything, you know.
You just gotta be sick and tired of being sick and tired, bro. I think most guys really make a change in their lives when they're just tired of the same old, same old.
Hmm.
It's like most people. Here's the thing about people: a person is only going to change because of two reasons: because of inspiration or desperation. Most people ain't changing because of inspiration, man.
Hmm.
So for a lot of the guys on here watching this or who will watch this, I can't inspire you to change. It needs to get to a point to where it's bad enough.
So you
So you'll
really
get
think
up,
you
you'll get a guy will get up. Let a guy get to the point to where he's about to get evicted. He'll start moving. Let a guy get to the point to where he loses his girl. He'll get better. Like you got to lose, bro. You have to
you,
lose.
you feel like they have to a person has to lose before they can before they actually get serious? Is that what you're saying?
For most guys, yeah, most guys are going to have to lose massively before they get serious because they're not going to do it because of inspiration. Because if that's
Hmm.
the case, most people walking planet Earth know what to do to get in shape. I'm not even a fitness person. If somebody would ask me, Alex, what do you need to do to get in the best shape of your life? I'd just be like, I just go to the gym every day and eat right. Everybody knows that, bro. Everybody knows that, right?
Yeah,
Well, the
they
question
do.
is why ain't everybody doing it?
Yeah.
Well, the reason is because you don't have to do it. You're not going to die if you don't hit the gym every day. You're not going to die if you don't eat right. I can eat hot wings and chicken, fried chicken every day of the week. I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
But
So what made you decide to like really get on track to where you started doing that though? Like what really helped you do that? Because you talk about people have to get to a point of desperation before they can even do that.
you really want to know? I'm gonna give you the real answer, man. I just want to know what it felt like to be at the top. I just want to know what it
Mm.
felt like. The reason why I wanted to make a lot of money because I just wanted to know what it felt like.
Mm.
Like, like I'm like most people. I'm like most people, and my AirPods. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly.
Okay, cool. One of my AirPods is out. But anyway, I'm like most people. I see a lot of success from afar. Meaning that, let's just use Instagram for instance. Anybody right now can get on Instagram and they can go to a couple pages of people who are living a life, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go to people's pages, living a life, driving the cars they want to drive, taking the vacations they want to take, millions of followers, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of people can do that. Well, the only difference with me is versus me seeing that from afar, I want to know what it feels like. I just want to know what it feels like. I just want to know what it feels like to drive a supercar. I just want to know what it feels like to have a Lamborghini. I just want to know what it feels like to be in the best shape. I just want to know what it feels like to make $1 million. Like
Mm.
I was so curious to know what it felt like. And I didn't even care if I liked it. But I knew going through my adult years, especially going through my late 20s and my 30s, bro, I just wanted to know what it felt like. I just wanted to know what it felt like to be at the top of something. And most guys, they never have that thought of curiosity. It's like, okay, I'm okay where I'm at. Well, I wasn't okay where I'm at. I wasn't. It wasn't that I was ungrateful of where I was at because I've never been to the point where I've been homeless or didn't have any food or didn't have a car to drive. I've always had the basic necessities like most people.
Mm-hmm.
But what does it feel like to have more, a lot more. What does it feel like to make millions of dollars? Holy smokes. What does it feel like to drive a $500,000 car? What does it feel like to live in a mansion? Most people never go for it, bro. I went for it, and I didn't even care if I made it or not. I just wanted to go for it. I was like, I may fail miserably. I may waste 10 years of my life starting this business, but who cares? This is why one of the greatest sayings I've ever heard was "Get rich or die trying." I was like, bro, I was just on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I
For
was just gonna
sure
give
that.
it everything I had for as long as I had until I couldn't push no more. Most guys don't think like that, man.
No, they don't. They don't.
They're most guys are okay. Most people are okay, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But
no, you're
I
right
just
with
didn't
that.
want to, bro. I just didn't want to be a. This is how I looked at it, Adam. I was like, if that guy can do it, I can do it. It's like, okay, I can go online right now and go to 100 accounts of people just living their life. And it's more than 100. There's thousands. Thousands of people living this life. I know there's room for one more. I know there's room for one more.
Yeah.
And most people won't resonate with this is because most people are okay. And that's okay. It just wasn't okay with me. And it's still not okay with me.
So let's also talk about let's just keep it real. Let's just be real, right? That's what I'm. So when we were talking about this live, let's just go into it. I think that's the easiest and the best thing to do. When we were actually talking about doing this live, right? We were going back and forth and figuring out what the topic of it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted to talk about stuff for men because that's what I like to talk about, empower men. But we were also talking about like negatives versus positives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking about why most people are not on the motivational stuff and they don't want to hear motivating things. They respond to negative things over positive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't agree with you on that, but I know you have your viewpoints on that too as well. Me personally, I just feel like people will respond to it and they do like it, but the person has to be to a certain level first before they listen to it and respond to it. The person can't just be no regular Joe Schmo unless they're like really, really, really good at their content.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have your big people up there. I forgot what his name is, but Tony Robbins, people like that.
Right.
You know, like they really listen to people like that, but it has to be somebody big and huge. Like I do agree too that people like negativity. I don't know. We're just maybe it's because we're just like kind of hardwired for negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So why do you say that? Why do you feel like people respond more to negative stuff than positive stuff?
Well, because negativity is more exciting. Positivity is boring.
Why do you
That's
think
simple.
that? I
Well,
don't agree with you on that though.
yeah. I mean,
At
negativity is
all.
exciting. Let's
I
think
don't
about
agree
it.
with you on that at all.
A video comes across your screen as somebody acting a fool on an airplane.
Yeah.
It has millions of views. You've seen videos like that, right? People
All
just
the
acting a
time.
fool on an airplane, right?
All the time.
Ain't nothing positive about that. Like you're
Yeah.
disrupting a plane, you're disrupting other people, etc. And then you come across the video with the guy saying, you know, this is what I'm eating for the day. This is what you eat to get ripped. Well, the video about getting ripped is boring, man. Even though it's way more valuable than the video of the person acting up on a plane.
Yeah.
It's entertainment, man. It's what sparks a person's dopamine, which is entertainment, is going to be the negativity. The negativity is what people want to see. Like right now, what's the hottest thing smoking right now? The Drake and Kendrick beef, right?
Yep,
I
for
was
sure.
locked in all day yesterday on DJ Academic stream, listening to these two dudes go at each other. Ain't nothing positive about this. It's a negative situation, but it was entertaining. Versus somebody watching something that's positive.
That's sad, man.
And it's sad, but this is what separates winners from losers. The losers will continue to soak in information that's negative and they get entertainment. The winner chooses to watch the information that's positive and they implement the information that's positive. Yeah, it's boring. Yeah, it's not that entertaining. But who's going to be better off in the long run? Who's going to have more in the long run? Is a guy soaking up the negativity or the guy soaking up the positivity?
Mm-hmm.
I learned this years ago. For every negative,
you need 7 positive affirmations.
For every negative, you need 7 positive affirmations. Why you say that?
For every negative, you need 7 positive affirmations, meaning that if somebody says something negative, it takes 7 times more of the positivity to equal the negative.
Really? I didn't know that. I've never heard that before.
Uh-huh.
The reason why, so I agree with that a little bit and I don't. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I feel like Nikki said she's heard that too. Okay. I'll tell you why I somewhat kind of agree with that and somewhat do and don't, right? The reason why I feel like people like negative stuff or they respond to negative things more than they respond to positive things is because most people's lives and their situation is not where they want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So because their life is not where they want it to be, they would rather hear other people that are going through negative things like themselves instead of hear things that are positive. So it's almost like they don't want to be the only one that's left out. Right? So they'd rather hear a whole bunch of things that are negative instead of my life is not where I want it to be. Now I'm listening to this other guy talk about how his life is so great. What is he doing for me? Right. That's why I agree with you on that, but I also disagree because I feel like the people that really want to do something and really want to change, they're not gonna listen to that because they understand how detrimental or how hurtful that is to them and their mental by listening to negative stuff all the time. Let me be honest, like I have to stop myself a lot of times, bro, because I can be scrolling through stuff all the time. And just like you said, I'll get caught up in watching a whole bunch of negative stuff. Mm-hmm. Cops pull somebody over, a fight on a train or a fight on a bus or something like that. Like I was literally just talking to my sister and we were talking about TikTok and how we can't be on there for so long because we'll continue to watch and scroll and go down the rabbit hole of a whole bunch of negative stuff.
Right, bro. It's what's entertaining, man. Negativity is entertaining.
It's terrible. That's sad, man.
So why do most men need help? Well, it's simple, man. Most men need to understand that their life and how they move in this world is going to be all based on their self-reflection and how they build themselves. So if a man is not consistently building himself every day in some shape or form of capacity, then the results that they can have in the future will diminish. Like everything's a compound effect. I learned this in business.
Mm-hmm.
when I made my first amount of money, I would say significant amount of money. When I look back on it, what I did and how I did it, it wasn't that I was just really, really good at sales or I was just so good at the business. I wasn't. I
Hey,
felt like I
question:
was.
Can you join the live too, bro?
You said what?
Can you join the live on IG from your other phone? I did both. I didn't mean to cut you off. And Nikki, what did it say? If you can't, that's all right. It's not a big
No,
deal.
I can't. But I'm already
Okay,
on.
that's all
I'm
right.
already. Yeah, I'm already on the IG. They should
Okay,
see me.
my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off though.
No. So what I learned in business when I made my first amount, I would say a significant amount of money. When I look back on what happened, was I making a good amount of money because I was just really good? Was I making a good amount of money because the market was good? No. I think the number one determining factor on why I was making money and it was consistently every month was because my efforts were compounding.
Hmm.
It was a compound effect. The compound effect is a real thing. And most people don't understand what that is. That can change your life. A compounding effect can change your life. And what that means is, let me give you an example. A penny doubled every day for 30 days is like $10 million.
Right.
That's the compounding effect. So even at home, a penny doubled every day is $10 million at the end of 30 days? Yeah. The first week is just a couple cents. But after 30 days, how was it $10 million? Well, it's the efforts that I was doing consistently. It wasn't this hard work, but the efforts that I was doing consistently over and over and over and over and over and over, even though in the beginning I was getting little results, 18 months later, I was doing the same things that I was doing 18 months before, but my results were up here versus
Mm-hmm.
when I first started, they were down here. I was doing the same thing, but it increased exponentially. So to
Right.
go back to why men have to start today and giving their all, the reason why you need to start working out today, the reason why you need to start eating right today, the reason why you need to start that business today, the reason why you need to get around other high value men today, the reason why you need to get good at talking today, because it ain't about today. It's about how you will be a year from now, 2 years from now. Those results compound.
Hmm.
This is why most people don't start at anything. This is why most people, if people understood this, they'll be like, oh my God, I'm gonna get up tomorrow and I'm hitting the gym. Because it ain't about how I'm gonna look today. Ain't nothing gonna change tomorrow. It's about how I'm gonna look in October.
Yeah.
I need to start the business right now. I may not make money for the next month, the next 2, 3 months. It ain't about this month. It's about how much could I be making a year from now? Because a year from now is coming anyway.
But how
That's
do
what I
we? But
learned. That's what I learned when I started making money. When I hit my first $1 million in 18 months flat, I was like, holy smokes. I was like, I was working businesses for 6 years and I didn't and I had to break my neck to make 100,000 in a year. And I got over here in 18 months and I made $1 million. What happened? The compound effect happened. It was the compound, the compounding of my skill sets, the business that I was in, like everything matters in what a guy does every day. It all matters. So the issue with most people, men specifically, is they're looking at today. This is most people. Most people are looking at today. So the guy who has a roommate who's smoking weed every day, who ain't got too much going on, he's looking at his situation and is like, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Like there's really no chance of getting out of this. He's looking at where he's at right now. This is what kept me. This is how I even got to the point to where I'm at today. Bro, I never looked at where I was at right now. On my brokest days, man, on my brokest days, I would just think about where I could. I was just thinking about what I wanted to be or what that guy looked like. I was like, man, what does that guy look like driving that new supercar? And that's what kept me pushing, man. I never looked at myself in the moment. I never looked at myself and wallowed in my misery of where I was. Because I knew today, Sunday, April 14th, is gonna come and go. What about October 14th? What about April 14th, 2025? Where could I be then? Well, where I'm gonna be then is gonna be based on what I'm doing now. So if I know April 14th, 2025 coming, what do I want to look like? Man, I would love to be ripped. I would love to be having veins showing. I would love to be chopped up. Damn, I gotta get in the gym tomorrow. See, people ain't thinking like this. What type of car I want to be driving a year from now? Shoot, man, I want a G-Wagon. And you may not have $1 to your name. Man, I gotta start this business tomorrow now. People ain't thinking like that, bro.
So hold on, Alex. Let's. I want to read comment. Nicole. Nicole said, "I think there's a difference between negativity that you go through in life is different than when someone says a hurtful, negative things. People like to see other people's negativity, but don't like it when it's a negative comment toward them personally." Exactly. And then Akil said, "Come on." He said, "It's about what habits am I building for the future?" He said he loves this. So I agree with you, Nikki, for real, and definitely Akil too as well. What habits are we building for the future? And that's kind of the topic that we were talking about, right? Like we were even talking about before, right? For everybody that's joining here. And I'm just gonna be we've been keeping it real. Like we had a topic and we decided to change it to something else. And I'm just gonna just keep it real, right? Like me and him were going back and forth as far as like what topic we wanted to talk about for this live and on YouTube, right? I'm just getting ready to start doing a lot of lives on YouTube and IG. And we were trying to go back and forth, and it's my page and my platform, but Alex has been coaching me and working with me for a minute, man. So we've been going back and forth, and I was talking about, hey, let's do something about like how to help men and do this and that. And he was like, being real, but people don't want to hear that. And it's sad, right? Because it's the truth. People would rather hear negative stuff than they would want to hear positive things, right? So we were going back and forth and okay, let's talk about this, let's talk about that. And I'm like, no, let's just be real, let's just talk about it. Right? So I'm gonna make a commitment, like he said, to be going live. Even if it's nobody that shows up, eventually people are gonna show up and do it. But with good quality conversations, they're gonna show up. But I want to go back to your point when you're saying people are not thinking like that. How do we get men and people to start thinking about the future, right? Like, even I'll be realistic with you. Like when I was in the business, when I was in Sidcore and Smart Circle, and this is hood, Adam. You talking about when I was in the business and the Sidcore and Smart Circle, and we weren't making no money, bro. Like I wasn't making any money. I wasn't thinking about, as much as I wanted to get the promotion and run my own office and run my own business, still in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to consistently go out there in the field, make sales, show up, be a positive influence on my team, right? When everybody else around me wasn't even halfway mentally prepared like I was. So how can I be a leader to people when I'm not even 100% there? And it was hard. Like, we can talk about all this motivational stuff, but what percentage of people really believe that they can actually accomplish these things? Like, some people would just say they can do it, but they don't really believe that they can really do it.
Mhm.
So how do we get people, or how do we get men to the point where they actually start to believe that they can be successful, but continue to work on it and not just say, I'm gonna start it, I'm gonna do it? Like, how do
The
we get them
environment,
to that point?
the
Huh?
environment, the environment. An environment makes or breaks a person. Simple as that. So most people
But
right now, they're in an environment that's not conducive for success. Most people right now are hanging around people who ain't going nowhere, who ain't trying to go nowhere, who ain't building themselves. They're not they're not growing, they're not working out, they're not eating right, they're not taking care of themselves, they're not they're not building a business. That's most people. Most people are hanging around people like that who want to stay average, who are okay where they are. So because most people hang out with most people who are okay where they are, then they feel like it's okay where they are. But you take that same dude who's hanging around, weed smoking, club hopping, no ambition, and you drop him for 30 days, just 30 days, and you drop him in a house of dudes who are working out every day, who are building their business, they're talking about making money, they're talking about growing, they're eating right, they're doing this and doing that, and doing this and doing that. Bro, he's not only persuaded, but he's damn near forced to start
yeah,
leveling up. It's like, hold on. So these guys are going to the gym every morning, and you seeing this is like, all right, I'll go this morning. And then he shows up, he goes the next day. And then these guys are eating this in the house. So, okay, now I got to start eating that. And then these guys are working on this business and building this. Okay, well, now I got to start doing that. It's the environment.
yeah,
Most people most people are in an environment that's not conducive for success. This is why most people will never have it.
Hmm.
It's not that they're bad people. It's not that most people success isn't for them. You're just in an environment to where it's not going to happen. So what do I recommend most people do? I recommend most people to move immediately. Immediately. Get out of that city you in. I got a guy right now that I'm coaching. I'm mentoring. I said, bro, as soon as you do your first deal, roll out.
just move.
Your next deal, roll out. Get out of that city so fast, bro.
Hmm.
This is one of the things I did when I didn't
Yeah,
feel like I was succeeding at certain points in my life. I'll bounce. I'll bounce. So for most people need to just first thing is move. Jet. Get away from friends, family, all these people. Roll out, bro.
yeah,
And get around winners. Most people hang around losers, bro. That's why most people lose. And I don't want to call people losers, but we're just gonna be honest here. There's levels in life. So
yeah,
for any man that thinks that, oh, no man is better than the other, yeah, what planet do you live on, bro?
yeah. That is very
There's
true.
levels, there's echelons,
Yeah,
there's levels, bro.
yeah. And to go with that, when I first used to hear people say that, I didn't like I did not want to hear that specific thing where people say like there's levels to it. And that's on a deeper thing. And some people are gonna agree with me and agree with you, and some people are not gonna agree with you. But there are levels to it. There's certain things that you have access to, certain things that you're able to do, certain things that you're like knowledge that you're able to gain, like even getting in certain rooms. Just like I remember you always used to tell me. So Alex always used to tell me when there's a conference, any event, something like that, he said, never get a general admission ticket ever. And I said, well, bro, like this ticket is $350, but the VIP ticket is $4,000. Why do I need to pay $4,000 for that ticket when I'm gonna see them people anyway, right? And the content is gonna be the same. He was like, because there's levels to it, bro. It's not about getting that ticket and the content. It's about the people that you'll have access to. It's about the connections that you'll be able to make, because it's a certain level to be able to get around those people. And I didn't really understand that. But then, just like we're just talking about the podcast summit you went to, you met some people that you still network and work with today. And I ain't gonna say their names, but they're very, very popular. Very popular, just because you did that.
Oh yeah, you talking about Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I was texting him yesterday. Because, and you know what's crazy? I got that VIP ticket. That ticket cost me a couple grand for that podcast summit. I forgot what it was, but I know it was over 2,000. Maybe I think it was like 3, 4, something like that. It all made sense on the last day, because even at the mastermind at the mansion, even though that there was these high level people, and I was sitting there taking notes, it wasn't life changing information. But on the very last night, they had a VIP dinner. So I go to the VIP dinner, and I'm walking up, and I have a nice 3-piece suit on, and this very popular YouTuber / Instagram influencer, he says, "Oh, Alex, what's up, bro?" That 30-second window, that I want you to think about it. The $3,000 ticket, the $4,000 ticket that I paid, all came to make sense within about a 30-second window of me seeing a guy who seen me when he threw his podcast summit, and I went to the summit, and he remembered me being at the summit. And when he seen me walking in the hallway, he was like, "Hey man, we need to connect." And we exchanged phone numbers. And that's a relationship that I have with one of the most popular people right now on Instagram. That 30-second window, that $3,500 ticket, that little 30-second window, I was able to get a relationship with this person. See, most people never get to the next level in anything, is because they want value first and pay later. That's most people walking planet Earth. Most people want, oh, tell me what I'm gonna make on the job, then I'll show up. Versus, I'm just gonna show up and start working and giving value, then you can pay me. Bro, everybody's conditional.
Wow, that's true.
Everybody's conditional. So me knowing that it's the other way around, meaning that, oh, I need to pay first. Doesn't matter what it is. I need to pay first. Before I can even think about being ripped and having a great physique, let me just show up to the gym for 6 months. Before I can even think about having the body that I want, let me just eat right for 6 months. Let me not cheat. Let me just eat right. And I don't even care if the body comes. In order for me to really start making money in this business, I'm just going to work this business every day. I'm not even going to worry about the money right now. I'm not going to be conditional and get in this business in 2 weeks. I'm not making no money. It's like, oh, this ain't working. Nope. I'm just going to work it, and I'm going to give everything I can up front, and I'll worry about the money later. Nobody moves like that, bro. Everybody wants something for nothing. Everybody's conditional. Everybody, bro. If you just talk to a person, that's how they talk, and that's their demeanor. It's like, well, I would do this, but I got this and this and this going on. Oh, so basically what you're saying is if there was a guarantee, you would do it. Got it. Got it.
So let's go to that question. Let's go to this question by Nicole. Nikki said, "Would you say there is a such thing as doing too much?" She said, "I'm not a man, but I feel like I'm doing a lot and mastering nothing. What do you suggest if I have a family, kids, and a full-time job?" That's a good question.
Yeah, it's basically what I just said. It's conditional. You're being conditional. Nicole, you says I feel like I'm doing a lot and not getting anything. Yeah, you want something for all the stuff that you're doing. You want to see a result. He's like, hold on, where's the fruits of my labor? I've been putting in labor, or where's the fruits? Why didn't you flip that mindset and be like, you know what? I'm getting a little better each week. I'm working this business. Yeah, I may not be making no money, but I learned this week. I learned this week. I learned how to do this. I learned this. I learned that. Everybody conditional, man. He's like, where the money? Why ain't I rich yet? I've been working so hard, and where's the money? Nope. 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 Don't nothing work that way. Don't nothing work that way. If people understood that if you just move through life how nature works, if you wanted to garden, guess what? You giving first. And you're gonna give for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. If you
So like
wanted a
planting
garden,
that seed.
that's so simple. It's everybody can understand what I'm about to say. If you wanted a garden, right? You're not gonna go out and build no something for nothing garden. You know, without a shadow of a doubt, if you wanted a garden and you had these corn seeds, nobody would say, well, man, I got to go out there and plant these seeds before it start growing. No, everybody walking planet Earth, most people would know, yeah, if I wanted a garden, I got to go out there. I got to tilt the ground to make sure the dirt is good and the soil is good first. And then I'll go ahead and plant all the seeds. And then
So
every other day, I'll go out there and water it. And I 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 go out there and water it. 2 weeks have passed by, nothing's still happening. Well, we all understand. Okay, no problem. Listen, it's okay. Just go out there and water it. If it rains, great. The rains help water. It help water for you. Go out there, make sure you pull all the weeds out. See, that's not conditional. Everybody understand that, but they don't move through life like that.
She put the comment in there. She said, "No, not mastering anything, not looking for fruit yet. I know there is a
having your
seed time and a harvest
hands in a
time."
lot of things. It's like, well, I mean, that's called being indecisive. So a person who has them hands in a lot of things, that just means that you just can't decide on one thing and do that for long enough. You don't believe in the one thing that you're doing, because if you truly believed in the one thing you were doing, you would just do that. But since you got this, that, this, that, this, that, no, just pick one thing.
Yeah.
So
I can tell you,
just pick one thing.
I can tell you honestly, like that has been something that I've dealt with, Nicole, for a long time, right? Because I've always felt that I can do this, this, and this, right? Like and again, I'll be as real as possible. Like even with doing the podcast and the YouTube, I'm doing that and my business at the same time, right? And I know I need to start focusing more on one and getting very strong at one. And then once I'm very strong at one, I can start bringing the other ones, to the forefront, the other businesses to the forefront. And I'm not giving my all into one thing to build it up. I'm trying to multitask because I feel like I'm losing out. I'm going to miss the opportunity to, be great at one thing. And there's one thing that Alex would tell me, and it would make me mad. I'm being honest. It would be mad. He was like, bro, just focus on this. Just do this and focus on this. Just focus on this first. Get it. Do it. And I'm like, whatever. I hear what he's saying, but whatever. I'm still going to do this 30%, this 30%, this 30%, and this 10%. And then I heard that phrase like, when you try to catch more than one rabbit, you don't end up catching one. You catch none because you're so spread out. And I really had to learn and focus on one thing, even though I don't make as much as I want to. I'm not making like $500,000 a year or a whole bunch of money or anything like that. I had to start focusing on one thing because I wasn't a master of it yet. And then I seen him firsthand when he started to focus on one thing all the time. Alex, explain what you were saying. Like you were trying to be in entrepreneurship for 5 to 8 years or something. You said focusing on several things, and then you focused on one thing for a year and a half, and you made more money, you said, in that year and a half than you did all those other years put together.
Yeah, I just put my heart and soul and energy into one thing. This one thing wasn't perfect, wasn't a perfect business. It wasn't the best business out there. It wasn't none of these things. But I just wanted to be good at that one thing. And I put all my heart and soul and energy into it. And because I put everything into it, I was able to make in a 2-year period. I was able to make more in a 2-year period than I did in the previous 10 years. Because it talks about what I was talking about before, compounding. Everything compounds. And this is the conversation that I had with myself a few nights ago. I'll never forget, I was getting off the elevator, walking down the hallway, going into my condo, and it hit me. After 39 years of being on this earth, it hit me. And I was like, every decision counts. Every decision counts, bro. Everyone counts. Every decision you make counts. The decision that you made 15 years ago when you decided to go to Popeyes that day and get a piece of chicken, you may not think it mattered, but it mattered, bro.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And most people will listen to this and be like, oh no, that doesn't matter. I want you to think about this. Every big event is a series of small events. So if a big event is a series of small events, then all the small events equate to the big event, which means that the small events count. So every decision counts. Every decision counts. Man, I got off that elevator and I walked down that hall and I said, never again, bro. I said, never again. Never again, man. Never again eating that BS I don't need to be eating. Never again. If I'm not want to be serious with this woman, just don't deal with her. Never again skipping a workout day. Never again not taking my business serious. Never again, bro. Because it's all going to equate to my future. is going to equate to who I am. So for the people who on here who don't understand this, well, you are today based on a series of decisions you made over the past few years. You are where you are today because of what you was doing last year. You are where you were last year based on what you was doing the year before. All those little decisions equated to one big outcome, which is your life right now. Every decision counts.
So where
And-
should oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, like, so where should somebody start, right? Because in reality of it, right? I'll be honest, like, bro, all of this sounds good. It sounds good, right? I mean, where would you suggest somebody start? Like, should they get like a coach, mentor? Should they change their environment? Because you talked about moving. Because
Yeah,
I
a
even know for
person-
me, bro,
a
like
person-
I had to move too as well. Like
A
I
person's-
had to move.
Everybody on planet Earth has everything they already need within them to win. Because everybody was born with the ability to win. Most people already know what to do. Most people already know what to do. You know how I know? Because everybody has everybody has a conscience. Everybody has that voice inside of them telling them what they should do. We all have it. I know if I have it, I know the next person has it.
Yeah.
What most people do is they just ignore that voice. There's a voice everybody has within us. Everybody has the voice, bro. Every person walking planet Earth has the voice. So if you watching this, if you know you got that voice inside you that told you you should do this and you didn't do it, or you should stop doing this, everybody has that voice, bro. I would start by just listening to that voice. I would start right there. Most people think that, oh, I need to do this and maybe I need to do this and listen to this coach or I got to go with this, that. Nah, how about you just start listening to that inner voice? Start there first. I will start there.
It's hard, man. Sometimes that's very hard. I'll be honest with you, but you're right. Like you it comes a point in time where you have to make a decision, and then it goes back down to what you were saying. Like most people won't really make that change or won't go all in until their back is against the wall. So I literally had to adopt what you were saying to as well. No matter how much money I got in the bank, whatever my situation is, bro, I just live off what's in my business account.
Yep.
It sucks and it sounds stupid and cliche, but you're right. There's a lot of times where I've gotten very lazy. I know I can be doing way more. I can take a day or two off.
Yep.
But I know it's only hurting me. So you're right. You are definitely right. You're definitely right. I appreciate you, man. I know this was only supposed to be
Nah, bro, I appreciate you, man.
10 to 15 minutes. But this is literally something, to be honest with you, this is something that I needed to hear too as well, bro.
Yeah.
Being for real. So, and I know that's one thing about you that I appreciate. You it don't matter. You're respectable, but you're not when you need to be at the same time. And you're not disrespectful, but you're very honest and truthful. Right? And that means a lot. So I will also commit, like what you said before, I will be doing this a lot more. Like I said, I don't care if nobody shows up or whatever it is. We'll switch up the topics. I see people jumping in and out. But I'll also be able to remember when nobody was on and then when there's gonna be too many people on to be able to get to everybody.
Yep.
So, yo, bro, appreciate you, man. I'm gonna end it on IG. I'm gonna end it on all of these two as well, and we'll go for there. Thanks for everybody that joined the comments. We just practiced something. We just jumped on. It's midnight where we at, 12:07 here in Atlanta.
Yep.
So you look like you got more energy now, bro, than what you did.
I know, man. I drank that coffee. It revived me. Brought me back to life.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate you. I'll let you know when we get on. Yeah, appreciate it.
Sounds good, bro.
All right.